Hi everyone, welcome to another quick walkthrough of one of the templates that we have up on the website. As we did with the test status tracker the other day, I wanted to go through another new one that I've added, which is the skills and competencies matrix. Now, whenever we have a team, we always want to know what their capabilities are, what technical skills, testing skills, what their experience is, maybe also what experience and skills they have with the application that we're testing and so on. And so putting a skills matrix together is something we're often asked to do, or we're asked to rate ourselves on, for example. But despite the fact that it's a fairly straightforward document and fairly straightforward activity, it can cause quite a lot of stress and concern. The skills matrix that's on the website is an Excel sheet, looks just like this. And one of the key things that is in the skills matrix is a skill level definitions. So in order to rate somebody with a certain level of skill, we need to enumerate what we mean by that. And so what I've put here is a rating from 1 to 5, and what I've considered to be a kind of level, a name for that level. And we go from, as you can see, no knowledge at all, completely no practical working knowledge, but should be able to use, if provided, clear guidance. Now, you know, there could be a level, I guess, below this strictly, which is utter incompetence, but in which case they wouldn't be on the team, right? This is that they don't have any, you know, hands-on experience, but they're a competent professional in the field, and so if you give them guidance, they should be able to do it, but you need to be on hand constantly. The next level up from that is they've got awareness of it. Perhaps they've worked with it before, or you know, they've read some blog posts, watched some YouTube videos, so they'll be able to work with the existing solutions and practices. This is where they go, well, you know, I kind of get it. I get what this is, what this skill is, what this tool is, this technology is, but I don't necessarily know why I'm using it. I can run the SQL queries, I get that, but I wouldn't be able to modify them, I wouldn't be able to do anything notable with these except just execute, again perhaps with a little bit of guidance. From there you get proficient, your experience is increasing, and the way to recognise this is that the tester would perhaps be able to maintain and provide minor improvements on whatever it is, and we'll see notable skills beginning to increase. So again, in the example of SQL, you know, they might be able to improve the SQL queries. They could perhaps maintain them if database schema changes. You know, so they get that. They've got some insight. They start to understand why now. And in fact, you know, some team members will start to excel in certain areas. Maybe they'll optimize the SQL queries, or they'll structure them in new and more efficient ways. Competency is the next one up, where we're saying they have a full understanding of the existing solutions. They completely get why this collection of test cases have scripts, you know, SQL queries perhaps within them, why we're using them, and perhaps they even, you know, start to subvert the process. That's always an example of competency and expertise. So they start to work around what we've got in place because they understand fully what we're trying to achieve with whether it's the test cases, the tools, the techniques, the approaches, the templates, and what the direction is of those, so they can, as I say, start to subvert the process and get to the end. We start to get a more agilistic approach, shall we say, to a particular skill or competency. The next level up is expertise. I'm always very cautious about using the word expertise. I tend to think that expertise is something that you never really achieve. You might be between competency and expertise, but you know, companies are going to ask for it. They're going to say, are you an expert in this field? It's the vocabulary we use, and as we said before with other things, we have to respond to that, but perhaps cautiously. So expertise here is that people are able to critically assess and improve on the current use and build future capability. So this is definitely someone who can subvert the process. They know where it's going, they know what the end objective is, and perhaps they know you know, sneakier and clever ways to get there. So what you would do, in fact, let's just have a look at these. This is just a description of the different tabs, so let's go look at these tabs down here. So here I filled in some pretty common tools and technology that perhaps a more technical oriented user is likely to engage with. So ALM and UFT, you know, or QTP, depending on what you're using at the time. Jira, fog bugs, something else like that. Perhaps some tools like Toad or Putty for connecting to databases and servers, and then maybe there's some tooling in there. We put some open source ones here as an example that again people are using. So you would put your team member name in here, and then you would rank 1 to 5 along here. And that's it, right? So we go down here, and what technologies are they using? Technology is a bit of a broad term, but if you think, if you think in terms of tools being, I need to install it, it's a package, I download it, it's got an executable, it's got a .msi. Well, bundle it into the tools area. If it's a technology in that, it's present in the system, I use it in generic terms. Maybe there's no licenses for it, it just comes natively with the system. You could probably put like VB scripts in here as well, perhaps. Then pop it into here, under general technologies that we use to assist our testing. Likewise, on testing, this is about testing skills. I've only put 2 here. This is the typical, I was going to say software development lifecycle, but I never like that. Let's call it the testing lifecycle. So we go through analysis, and then once we understand, we plan, and once we've planned, we execute, and once we execute, we report. I've just bundled them together here with some typical activities. And it may be that you say, well, hang on, this user, I trust them to do document reviews. This could be reviewing technical specifications, solution definition documents, etc. And in response to that review, you then have to design test cases or a test regime, etc. So this may be your senior people, they could be fairly competent at this, whereas along here, let's say, your more junior testers may just be doing manual execution and not so competent in all of the relevant skills. Right, so again, just 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 5. And likewise, the application has functional or feature areas, and you perform certain activities on them, or it has, again, this may be access or authorization you may class as a feature. How competent is the individual in testing these particular areas? That is a skills matrix. What you will notice is there's not another tab here that perhaps adds up an individual's competencies by particular area and then ranks them against the other team members. You may want to do that, but you may not. When you get, and I suggest you do get, individual team members to rank themselves, they will probably firstly wonder why. What is this exercise meant to achieve? And as a test manager, you need to reassure them this is about assignment. We need to know who we're going to put on particular areas, so as a team we're more effective. It's about recognizing how or what skills are in demand in the team, what skills shortfalls we might have in the team, and so we need to put training in place. If there's a suggestion that skills matrix is about finding the weak link and getting rid of them, the data they put in here will just be nonsense. So you may well need to get the team to rank themselves, and then in 3 months' time, when you come to do the quarterly review, essentially just bin this first one and get them to rank themselves again when they've calmed down, when they've realised they're not just going to get fired, etc. Use these in cautiously. If a team member ranks a 5 in Ruby and this one ranks a 3, you may only need that level in the team. So it's not that anyone ranking below here is someone who needs to get kicked out of the team, right? Because anything from 3, 4, 5 upwards may be sufficient, and maybe you just don't need these skills. So again, it's all about context, right? We need to understand what do we actually mean by these figures. Maybe that proficiency or awareness is absolutely fine. No knowledge, well, maybe that's not quite good in a professional team, and you need to come along and help them. So that is the skills and competencies matrix that's on the website. It's under templates, as always, and sits here. I've put a little new flag next to the ones that I add, and when I add some more, I'll shift these around so you always know per video, assuming you're catching up on these videos, which one we've got as a new. Now, let's skip on to something else. This is another template. In fact, it should be on the website. Let me just point it out to you. He said professional development plan. It's under the team pack here. So the professional development plan is something in companies you will have that that annual review going on, but an end of year review being done to employees is next to worthless, and I absolutely abhor them. What you should be doing is firstly putting a professional development plan in, and here we can see we've got some quarterly breakdowns here, right, of particular goals and some descriptions. Let's have a look at the descriptions. So put the particular year in here, 2014 perhaps. Here, professional outline of who I want to be in 12 months time. What you would have here, and I've used the words here, is a high level narrative description. Describe yourself. It's imagine yourself 12 months from now, doing what you do. What kind of skills have you got? What kind of experience have you gained? What new things are you doing now? What things that you currently do are you doing better? Describe it. Right? This is your little dream world, that's fine. So number 2 is then the skills that you'll possess that will help you deliver that professional outline. So given that's where you want to be, so I could say in 12 months time I'd love to be, where should we be, competent with Selenium 2 and back up to speed with the Ruby to a level that I used to be when I played with Selenium and did Ruby based automation about 2 years ago now, in actual fact. Okay, that's my description. I can break that down into a series of skills that I'll possess. And then actions. What would I actually need to do to get those skills? And here I am breaking them down per quarter. I keep this, my manager keeps this, and we review it in our reviews. So this is the professional development plan that we will put together based on skills shortfalls that we identify here. So PDP for this person, if Ruby was central to what we were doing, of these 2 people, that should go on a professional development plan. They may narratively describe what they would like to do, but you may also tell them what they need to do, such as the joys of management. Now, so that's the PDP Scratchpad, right? And another related one is this paper, and this is a paper on a model for a team appraisal system. Again, I'll let you read it. The idea is that there are regular one-to-ones with the individuals. There is a review of the 3-month plan. Pull out your PDP, have a look over where are we, how are you doing, and then there's the end of year annual appraisal. And this paper describes what activities we might want to undertake, how we manage 3-month planning and review, the monthly review and the one-to-ones. Okay, this paper is under papers, and it was one of the early ones that I wrote actually. Here we are, developing a team. That's what it is. Let's just scroll up. Developing a team, a model for a team appraisal system. I've also got another template that I need to add, which is a sort of training and mentoring tracking sheet. So again, people can request training, record it in there, send it in to you, and as part of the end of year appraisal you've got the PDP Scratchpad recording out what happened through the year. You've been recording the ongoing appraisal, ongoing mentoring, and then with the other template you've helped them to identify what training needs, what their training objectives are, and help them move forward. So that is a quick explanation of primarily the skills matrix, but also the related items of the professional development plan, or the PDP Scratchpad as I refer to it, and a supporting paper about how we develop the team by following a structured team appraisal system. And your goal should be that perhaps quarterly you reissue the skills matrix and you see a gradual but steady increase in the skill levels of the team. And there we go. I hope these are of use. Be sure to hit the website, and as always, give me some comments and feedback. If there's something you're not seeing in the templates or papers, be sure to let me know.